What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Beyond Your Upline. So we all love a really good skeptic, don't we? I mean, that's what just fuels us in our business and just keeps us going. No, I'm just being sarcastic. But in today's episode, I want to talk about how to win over those skeptics. So let's get to it.
How do you build a successful business in network marketing when everyone you know thinks it's a scam? How do you achieve that dream lifestyle when 99% of distributors quit within their first year, broke and worse off than when they started? If you ask the so-called experts or talk to your family and friends, they will tell you that it's impossible, that it can't be done. But it is being done, and it's happening each and every day by a select group of people that you probably never even heard of. My name is James Cuilty. Join me as I seek to find out how these elite few beat the odds and succeed in network marketing. Welcome to Beyond Your Upline.
So how do we win over those skeptics? So the other day I was on YouTube, and I've made a playlist because I love watching the old infomercials, way back in the day when I was growing up. And if you don't know what an infomercial is, on TV, you would have these people that would they would have like 30 seconds. Sometimes it would be like a 30-minute segment of them promoting a product, right? And it's basically what the old-time marketers used to do in newspaper ads or in print or in magazine, and then they just transition that over to TV, right? But I loved watching, when I was a kid, I loved watching those infomercials because it always used to get me so, I don't know how they did it, but whatever they were selling, it used to get me just so excited. And if I had a credit card, I would have been buying all of that stuff, right? And so I was going through, and if you haven't, honestly, get on YouTube, do a search for just infomercials, right? And they'll pull up all of the old school infomercials. They're great education on how to market and craft offers and stories and all that stuff. But so anyway, I was going through my list and I came across one of them who was one of my all-time favorites, and it was Kevin Trudeau. And if you don't know who Kevin Trudeau was, he was a big-time infomercial guy, and so he used to sell a lot of products on TV. And one of them was his Mega Memory program. Another one was the natural cures they don't want you to know about. Now, if you do a search on him, he's gotten in some legal trouble with the government. I don't really follow any of that stuff, but he was phenomenal on the on the TV. And I distinctly remember his product, Natural Cures, they don't want you to know about, right? And it was interesting because there was a lady that was on there that was total skeptic, did not like him whatsoever. But in his infomercial for this product, Natural Cures, right? One of the things that was on there that he mentioned in the infomercial was that if you had acid reflux, that you can take some vinegar, take a shot of vinegar, and it would help with that, right? And the skeptic was on there. She did not like him, thought he was like a shyster, but she had acid reflux, and so she ended up taking that. Or doing that little suggestion or whatever, and it ended up curing. Now, I wouldn't say, I take that back. Disclaimer, we don't give cures here, but it helped with her acid reflux, right? And so she went from a skeptic to a believer, and ended up purchasing her product, or purchasing his product. And why do I tell you this? And I share this with you because if you can demonstrate the effectiveness of your product, right, that is how you can get just somebody who's not only a critic but a skeptic to become a believer and basically bring them over to your side to purchase whatever it is that you are offering in the marketplace. Does that make any sense, right? And so let's say you're selling a essential oil, right? Well, you can, again, in your marketing, you can offer up, something that the essential oil will help with, right? And I know my wife has essential oils, and one of the things that we use is Deep Blue. Right. And it helps with muscle aches, and it helps with recovery. Right. And one of the things that my wife, gave me, I had injured my, not injured, I had a elbow, a tendonitis, in my elbow, golfer's elbow. And it was really flaring up, and it was really bothering me. I think it was because I was doing a lot of, pull-ups and stuff. And so she gave me that, and, she rubbed it on my elbow, and, she did it at night, went to bed. I woke up, and, my elbow was not inflamed. It was not bothering me as much. And I was like, wow, because I don't like icy hot, and I don't really, prescribe to any of that stuff. But just like this lady that was listening to Kevin Trudeau about the vinegar, I was, the same way. And so now I'm like, oh, Deep Blue, awesome. And any of my clients, I suggest, that they do that if they have any, aches and pains, because it helped with me. And so it turned me from a skeptic to a believer. Does that make sense? Are you following that? And so any way that you can demonstrate the thing or something simple that your prospect or your future customer, whatever problem that they're having, if you can demonstrate what your product does, in a way that is really small and manageable, and it doesn't take a lot of time or something like that, it's going to turn them from a skeptic into a believer. And so sitting down are like, okay, what does my product do? And you're looking at like all the benefits, from the informational page, and then also from your personal experience. And if you don't have any initial experience, look through the testimonials. There will be somebody that is in there, just like that testimonial that Kevin Trudeau had about that skeptic, about having acid reflux, or not believing in him and being a shyster, and then trying that one little tip and it helping with her acid reflux. And so then she was like, well, what else does this have? And she ended up purchasing his product. So you can go through those testimonials. That will help you, because when you can demonstrate what your product does, instead of just I want to say hoping, no, what's the word I'm looking for? Having your customer just take this on faith, because already in our marketplace, people have been scammed, or people have bought things and for whatever reason, it didn't work for them. So they're very jaded and they're very guarded, and they're not really willing to take something on faith. But if you can demonstrate it, and that's what these old-time infomercial marketers were excellent at. They would show a problem and the old way of doing things and the things that people are already doing, and then they would show what their product does and how they do it better and faster and easier than the old way. And that's why they were so popular, and that's why people did infomercials all the time, and they made millions and millions of dollars, and it was a huge industry, because they were really good at demonstrating the effectiveness of their product compared to the old way of what people were doing. Does that make sense? So sitting down and trying to figure out, hey, how can I do this with my product, right? And also doing a search, awesome. And I suggest this to all of my clients. I actually put together a playlist, and all of my people that I work with, I share my playlist, but I also suggest that they actually go and do a search and just watch these infomercials. And it's not about you buying, but understanding the psychology and the process, and watching it over and over again, and looking at what they are doing. And it is a really simple process. And what they do is they will show people with the problem that they have and the old way of what they were doing, trying to solve this problem, and just how ineffective it is. And then they would transition over to this new product and how this is going to help them, as opposed to having to go through all of the pain that they had to go through doing the old way, and how this new product takes away all of that pain and it makes it simpler and easier for them to get the result that they're looking for. Does that make sense? So I just wanted to jump on here. I saw this from Ben Settle. He had written a little bit or a little article about this in some of his selling secrets. And I was like, I remember Kevin Trudeau. Oh my God, that is so, yes, I remember that. So I wanted to hop on here and share that with you. And so I hope you got some value from this. Please take this, apply this, and let me know how it works out, because applying these principles, these marketing principles, it's what's not only going to help you, but it's also going to help your team. And it's also going to help to build a stronger organization and sales force. All right. So that's all that I have for you for today. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to me. But again, I appreciate you allowing me to share all the things that I am learning and testing and applying with all of you. And as I say always, I am going to talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you want to hear more of how the top income earners are actually building their network marketing business beyond their family and friends, please subscribe so you don't miss any of the secret hacks that I uncover.